Hello, welcome back to another live stream, people. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and welcome back to another match preview. Yeah, Nottingham Forest versus West Ham United match preview. I only realised until 2 minutes ago that I named the stream match reaction and not match preview, but we've changed that now. So if you refresh, the title was correct. But listen, as you're coming in, or if you're watching this on the playback, make sure to leave a like on the video and make sure to subscribe if you are new as well. Try to hit 1K as soon as possible at GVO Mikes on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And also on Saturday night will be the match reaction, of course, because the game starts at 3 p.m. Obviously, traveling to the City ground. Obviously, I'm not traveling, but the team are. But obviously, we'll have the match reaction probably around 10 p.m. again on Saturday. Big up to Charlie as always. We're going to get into the press conference. We're going to get into the team. We're going to do what we always do on these match previews. And depending on whether there's actually stuff to talk about when it comes to West Ham, depending on what you guys want to talk about as well, we might keep this to 40 minutes. We might go to an hour. I don't know. But to be honest with you, I've said this before. There's not really been much to talk about when it comes to West Ham nowadays. Like, when I preview these games, I'm kind of repeating myself. Like, I'm kind of complaining about the same things. The things I complain about is the same thing. The things I want are pretty much the same thing. I'm kind of repeating myself a lot, week in, week out, because I'm seeing the same thing. But I think we either win or draw this game. I think we either draw or lose. But that's just me being half glass empty as I always am, because Forest away, oh God. We haven't won there yet. And they're only getting better and better every season. Well, not every season, but this is the best we've seen them. And the way they beat Leicester, yeah, we could have a big test on our hands. The only thing that's going to get us through is, like, even when we don't play well, we have the final third quality to get us over the line sometimes, but it's just whether we actually have the ball or not. This could get bad, in my opinion. This could get bad, and they're better than Man United. They're quite considerably better than Man United, and we're gonna have a bigger test because we won the game last week because more so of the other team being shit rather than us being good. And I talked about this in the recent video I did on Tuesday. If we've really turned a corner, then you got to, well, if turning a corner would mean winning against Forest and Everton, because the reason why I say win and not draw is because we won 3-9. If you win against Forest and Everton, five wins, then you can be like, okay, 5-11. You're kind of trying to rectify it a bit. I'm not expecting to win every game, no, but we also drew games we shouldn't have been drawing. This is the most serious game of the season this year for me, Fairs. Forest the shit, we're gonna flog them. I wish I had your positivity, Charlie. I wish I had your positivity, but not with this manager. I have no positivity when it comes with this manager. Funny enough, I remember when Nottingham Forest actually hired Nuno, and I was like, why didn't they get Lopetegui? I remember saying that. And Nuno's shown why he's still a decent manager, to be fair. Would I take him at West Ham? Probably not. It's not that. Yes, it is a bit of a start of play thing. But I think he's also the mold of the manager that I don't like. Instead of going for the win, he'll go for the draw instead, which, don't get me wrong, it's worked for what they are trying to do. But I think their mentality is more try not to lose the game, even though they're not in a relegation battle. I think they were going into it maybe thinking, because they've been down there in the seasons before, the whole mentality was just get to 40 points. And I'm pretty sure that's still going to be mentality until they get to 40 points. Yeah. The thing is, Charlie, we're probably going to do the same to them. Now, this game is going to be if you can hear fireworks, I'm sorry, but yeah, my neighborhood go overboard when it comes to fireworks. They find any excuse to celebrate these last 2 months. But well, that's my neighborhood for you. They're going to sit back and try and hit us on a breakable game. Like, I think we're going to try and do the same though. Like, we'll do our half-hearted press. But the way, even in the away games, when we approach away games, if you think about Palace away, Fulham away, Brentford away, and Tottenham away, we approach games away from home the exact same. So there's going to be a lot of people sitting back. Well, both teams are sitting back. A lot of counter attacks. My thing, I know what kind of situation, and listen, I'm not the oracle, but I know how this game's going to go. we're going to have the ball down the wings or down the fullback areas. And listen, as much as I love Wan-Bissaka and Emerson, I have a feeling the ball will be given away around those areas, and you can just tell that either Wan-Bissaka or Emerson's going to be out of position because we were in possession. And Elanga or Hudson-Odoi are going to run at our centre backs and score from those situations because they're in so much space. Now, I did read something about Chris Wood being a doubt, which is heavily positive to us due to his form this season and his great record against us. But apparently, there's positivity that he's still going to play. Same with Elliot Anderson, who's had a great season and has gone quite under the radar, where not enough people have talked about how good Elliot Anderson's been so far this season. It is going to be a shit watch. It's going to be a terrible watch. But we have better quality of play, so we must win. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Like we've proven that as well. With Somerville still there, that the attack, we've still got a very good attack. Like Somerville would get into a lot of teams. Fucking hell, these fireworks are mad. But Somerville, Bowen, and listen, Antonio up front, you don't know what you're going to get with Antonio. If they get into the right positions, they can score. I feel like no, with the lineup that I'm suspecting, and with the lineup that they're suspecting, that I'm suspecting that they line up with, I don't think it's going to look good for us because we can't keep getting away. Even getting away, we've only won 3 games, but we can't keep getting away with not getting punished. We're gonna have more games like Tottenham away. We are going to have more games like Tottenham away under this manager. They ain't scoring clean sheet game. We're gonna win 2-0. Charlie, I really hope you're right. Wood, Anderson, Gibbs, White, Jota Silva could be a doubt. Apparently, big up by the way, big up Warrior as always, bro. Yeah, as I said, like I read something about Chris Wood being a doubt, but apparently there's positivity around him and Anderson maybe featuring. I think Anderson may be on the bench. Obviously, Gibbs White had an injury against Chelsea, so we don't know if he's going to be. But obviously, James Ward-Prowse can't play in this game, so we can't have Ward-Prowse dunking on us. But it's also that as well. Jota Silva was obviously a transfer target of ours, and we decided to go with Somerville instead. The guy who looks exactly like Ruben Neves. Big up to Wasim as well. Hey, Mike said all in the chat. Do we win? I hope so, mate. I hope so. I really do. But as you all know, you guys are all regulars in here. I'm never positive. I'm like, but that's what you're gonna get from me. That's what you're gonna get from me. I'm just a glass half empty type person when it comes to football in general. So I'm never really gonna predict to win. I predicted the loss against Ipswich. I'm pretty sure, and we won 4-1. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Big up, Mike. Would you take Ten Hag? No, definitely not. Definitely not. I don't want to take another manager that doesn't have any identity in this style of play. Elliot Anderson has been balling out for us in midfield. Yeah. Yeah, he has. Like, I think he's gone under the radar. I think he's probably been the most underrated player this season so far. It's quick feet. There's had more game time at Newcastle as well. I remember talking to Steve about it, like, very briefly. Like, I think it was him that was said that Elliot Anderson should be playing more. But I remember watching Elliot Anderson thinking, how are you not playing? But sure, Longstaff was playing instead. Gibbs White shit. I disagree. Their little weirdo right back is going to get cooked. And I'm a dunk on my entire family. Oh, wait, it's your family Forest fans, Charlie? Is that why you're so amped up for the game? Is Ola Aina weird? Ola Aina's had a good season as well. Ola Aina's had a good season. Would you take Ruud van Nistelrooy? I haven't seen enough. I didn't watch the Man United game where they were supposedly balling out against Leicester, and also it's just one game. Man United players always do this where they have an interim, they just ball out, and then when they go back to time when they have an actual manager. But also, I didn't watch PSV under Ruud apart from the Arsenal games in the Europa League. Well, one of the Arsenal games in the Europa League when it was at the Emirates and they lost. So I don't even know if I'd take Ruud van Nistelrooy because I don't even know what a Ruud van Nistelrooy team looks like. Yeah, man, all my mum's side are from Nottingham. Okay, that's why you're so amped up for the game. I was wondering why you're so positive. You just really want to win to get one over your family. That makes sense. Obviously, we've lost the 2 previous fixtures in this at their ground, 2 calamitous games. The first time was their first ever home game coming back into the Premier League, where it was Jesse Lingard's return against us, where West Ham and Forest, obviously we had that bidding war of a free agent with Jesse Lingard, and Lingard went for the money and went to Nottingham Forest. He then shot at the goal, it rebounded, and Awoyini scored, and he started his great record against us. Well, I say great record. He always performs against us. He doesn't always score. But there was that game, and we should have won that game. We dominated a newly promoted side. Rice missed a penalty. We hit the bar. We missed sitters. We should have won that game, but we lost, and that was the start of a calamitous season that actually ended in a trophy at the end. And obviously, there was last year. I've spoken about this before with Palace away last year. I chose to work on the day we played against Nottingham Forest away from home, so I didn't have to watch David Moyes football, and we lost 2-0. Calvin Phillips got sent off, and that was another disastrous fixture. And that was the Moyes out banner, and everyone went at us because we said Moyes out. Um, Now with this one, we've got to end the record of losing at the City Ground. We haven't even scored there yet. We haven't even scored there. We had a goal that was wrongfully disallowed a couple of years ago, but that was it. Um, but we can't be having another ground where is a bogey ground for us. We already have that with Everton and Newcastle. I know we won against Everton last year, but you know what I mean. Everton, Newcastle, um, obviously Old Trafford and Anfield, the obvious ones as well. Uh, I'm Samuel from Nottingham. When we beat them a couple seasons ago 4-0, it was the second best game of my life. Fairs. Somerville has to start for you, but I could already predict Paquetá starting on the left. It wouldn't even be him on the left; it'll be Soler, because that's what happened against Man United. It was Soler on the left and Paquetá in the middle. Because I think everyone predicted to play Paquetá on the left because of him last year. But this manager just plays him down the middle, which I'm fine with. It's just playing a midfielder on the left is not it. I'm fine with playing Paquetá in the middle, just not Soler on the left. To be honest, Paquetá should be dropped this game if he has any balls. Away the lads into the quarters. Here we go. Big up Geordie. Big up Geordie. We're going to lose or draw. Yeah, probably. I imagine so. I imagine so as well. Because we haven't won an away game since the Palace game. So that's game week 2. I can imagine that carrying on, and people will be like, well, we got to end it somewhere. Yes, we do have to end it somewhere, but honestly, like that never happens at West Ham. It takes us extra long to actually break these records. We're just piss poor, piss poor. And I feel like this is going to be another one that's going to become a bogey ground for us. They've got good players, man. They're really good on the counter attack, and they've always been good on the counter attack since they've had Morgan Gibbs White driving them forward. And even if he doesn't play, they'll play Dominguez in there if Elliot Anderson doesn't play the 10, and then they'll make their midfield more hard to beat with Ryan Yates. And I don't know who would partner him, because I know Sangare and Danilo are out till Christmas, is what I read. Ola Aina's had a good season. Milinkovic was a target for us in the summer of 2021, but we signed Zuma instead, who ended up doing a good job, just had no knees in the end. Milinkovic was also the guy who played against us in the Conference League final for Fiorentina. Him and Murillo have been good, and Morato, when he's come in, he's been good. Like, very organised defensively. I forgot who plays left back for them. Alex Moreno, actually. Alex Moreno. He's on loan from Villa. Done a decent job, but he's got mobility issues. Bowen can run at him, especially going around on the inside. Inside channel and outside channel, he can be good at, for sure. Like, their fullbacks can be good. Like, Ola Aina is a good fullback, but he can be good. I remember I watched the Chelsea game and Sancho sat him on the floor a couple of times. Like, I think Somerville can do the same. It's just we need to actually get the ball to the wingers, and Somerville needs to start as well. Big up Mike's, big up Musty as always. Everyone like up and sub up on your way in. As Musty just said, like and subscribe, people. Newcastle is shite, but yeah, you must be feeling it a little bit after that cup loss, but did beat them in the league. We've been through the rigour so far this season. I'm just keen for a more favourable game. Yeah, I don't think this is more favourable. I think even Man United was probably more favourable than Nottingham Forest. I'm just being real. I hope you boys roll dog Arsenal this weekend. Same. I hope Newcastle beat Arsenal. Do you know what? I might do a video tomorrow, because I don't know what video I'm going to have for tomorrow. Previewing the weekend games, but it'll be pre-recorded. And what I'm going to do, guys, I might try and just get a guest on every week if I can to preview the weekend's games, but just do it pre-recorded. And also what I might do, the match reactions there will be a stream match reaction, but I might also do a pre-recorded version as well, because some people don't always watch the match reaction live stream straight after a game as well. So I might do a bit of both, but I'll keep you updated in the community page as always, people. But this is a game where it could go anywhere. Yes, we could surprise people. Yes, maybe this is another one where it's exactly like Crystal Palace away at the time, where I was feeling that we were going to lose because I thought Palace were going to start a bit stronger than they did, despite their loss to Brentford. I thought they'd bounce back against us. Now, they only found their first win on the other day, and we surprised Palace. We actually executed the game plan quite well and ended up winning that game. But we only played good for 45 minutes. However, in this game, I'm just not up for it. I'm not up for any game, but I don't really care what happens to be honest, because I know this manager, I know where this is gonna go. Um, I know how this is gonna play out. I feel like it's gonna become a pattern of okay, we'll lose a couple games, he'll be under pressure, and then he'll win again to delay his job for another month. Exactly what was happening 2 years ago under David Moyes in the Conference League winning season. Whenever David Moyes had one game left to save his job, he would win the game against Everton. That happened ironically against Nottingham Forest, 4-0 at home, and against Southampton at home. They were all home games. I remember El Sakiko was Moyes versus Lampard at the time, and we beat Everton and we got Lampard sacked. We actually win the El Sakikos quite a bit, even though I didn't predict last week to beat El Sakiko. We ended up winning that game, and now the whole footballing world hates us because we got Ten Hag sacked. Well, you got to blame Dalla and Bruno Fernandes, man, for missing their chances because we tried to give them the game. I promise you, we tried our very best to give Man United the win. Our very best. We actually purposely started Saleh instead of Somerville so Ten Hag could keep his job, but Somerville had to come on, otherwise there would have been riots in East London. But listen, everyone know if you watch Shameless on Tuesday, you would know the nickname I've called this manager. I'm not going to repeat on this stream, but that tells you all you need to know what I think about how the season's going to go and what the managers like to do at this club. Because when I look at impact, I look at people trying to get the best out of their teams. Sorry, I'm on a call. Wait, sorry, someone just called me. Give me 5 seconds. Sorry about that. But when it comes to this game, when it comes to Forest away, we need to just break the duck before it becomes even worse. Because I remember, what was it, Brentford? We still haven't won against Brentford away till this current moment in time, where we drew the last game. We drew the last game. Um, and the only time we won at their away ground was in the FA Cup. Like with the first couple games, we lost. Well, the first time we went to their ground, we lost 2-0, I'm pretty sure. The second time we went to their ground, was it last year or the year before? We lost again 3-1 or something. I think might have lost 2-0 again. And then we lost 3-2 last year. And then we drew 1-1 this year. I don't remember all the games. But this is another one. Forest have been promoted and they managed to get one over us because we always, open the back door for promoted teams, pause. It's always prank calling you. Tut tut, I'm professional. I had to answer the call. The players are just playing no tactics except wing backs pushing up. I actually completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. In fact, someone left a comment on my video earlier. Yeah, it was Robert. Big up to Robert, who's a regular viewer on the channel. So they've been to all the home games. We are awful. The midfield can't assist the defense or attack. Big holes at the back as the fullbacks try and act like wing backs, as Fuego just said. That's the reason why I'm reading this comment. We have no centre forward and they're trying to put square pegs around holes. Wanted to support J-Lo, but all the main people in the club are pulling in different directions. Our form will not improve markedly and will finish in the bottom half of the league. That's exactly what I think. That's pretty much exactly what I think. Forest have a little shitty shoebox. They knock it down. Science City's a dump. Charlie's up for it. Charlie is up for it. But that's exactly why I think with the wingback stuff as well. Like, we knew that Lopetegui likes his fullbacks as wingbacks anyway, but we didn't think he would be as erratic and as stupid and as on the spot what it looks like. The tactics look like it was made up on the spot and very structured bad. Like, that's what I think anyway. That's what I think when it comes to the way the tactics are set up. It doesn't look like there's any direction with the specific tactics. It literally looks like, okay, we're going to push the wingbacks because why not? It does look like the players are playing without any game plan. I always refer to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United when I think of teams that don't have any game plan, don't have any tactics. They're kind of just doing what they want. I feel like that's exactly what we're doing. Because when it comes to us, like you're kind of seeing, okay, if we're trying to invert the fullback and put the person out wide, what is the specific reason we're trying to do that? There is no specific reason. Because let's say, for example, you use your third fullback and your winger is hugging the touchline, yeah? Usually you will see that fullback make a third man run. Usually you see a midfielder make a third man run because usually it's a triangle out wide. So people can combine down the line and people can cut in and people can create chances. But there is no reason. There is no reason because as much as I think Wan-Bissaka and Bowen can work if like coached properly, and I think it will work down the right hand side. But I think half of the time they're just trying to figure it out themselves because they don't know what they've been told. Emerson hasn't had anyone to really combine with on the left. Because if we go back to the Betway Cup game, for example, I remember going to the Betway Cup game and it looked more like a 4-3-3 slash 4-2-3-1, where Rodriguez and Suchek was being a pivot at times, and sometimes Suchek would go forward and he's down the right hand side and getting a bit in advanced positions. But it also looked like down the left hand side that Paquetá, Kudus, and Bowen were combining all down the left hand side, and Paquetá was playing with freedom, taking the game by the scruff of the neck. But that's a Betway Cup game. That's pretty much like playing the Community Shield. That's your last game before the actual game itself. But we haven't seen that once this whole time. Now, Kudus on the left isn't it anyway, but if you're going to play Kudus on the left, at least give him combinations for him to run it behind and pass it behind and stuff. But there it is. There is nothing. There is nothing because despite Emerson having Kudus, and listen, Kudus can't play this game, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Kudus isn't a left winger. And we haven't seen that once this season. Ings has to start this game too. I'm sick of seeing a Jamaican donkey in the starting 11. I think Ings deserves one start. Like, I'll be real. For me, it doesn't matter who's starting up front. The reason why I think we need to give Ings a chance if he's going to be a part of this squad. If Fulkirk is still injured as well, obviously Fulkirk is probably still injured for this game as well. For me, it doesn't matter who starts up front because I've not been impressed with Antonio this season at all. I've complained about it many a times. I just think he's not a starter anymore. I think against teams like Ipswich he can do it, but it's now and then. Bowen up front doesn't work. Bowen's not a striker. Bowen's not. I don't need to say this again. The only time I wanted him to start up front was because I wanted to drop Antonio. I even said in that game, start Bowen up front, but put Ings on. What's it called? Put Ings as a impact sub on the bench. Ings didn't make 1 minute appearance. He didn't make a minute appearance in that Chelsea game, even though he scored the equaliser against Fulham, which is what I don't get. Which is why when people say this manager's ruthless, no, this manager is an R word, but it's not ruthless. At this point, the title would be "I'm Tired" Part 2 for post match. Have they even made that as a title once in a match reaction? That's what I'm wondering. I put ICBA, so maybe I might do ICBA Part 2. Like legit, if we lose, like I usually think of my titles before the match has even started, to be honest, whether we win or lose, unless there's something specific that's happened in a match. Then I'll change the title to something relevant. I was gonna like just take the piss with it, to be honest. I'll like putting trust the process is too cliche nowadays. Because even I'm sick of hearing it. I think when the problem is as well, it's come to a point where I'm talking to other people that support different clubs, and their banter is just trust the process. The banter is literally everyone's repeating the same thing, just trust the process as banter. And the thing is that trust the process banter is very 2020, very 2020. But however, I ain't really got to say anything because what the fuck am I meant to say? Like, that come up with something new. That would just sound like I'm rattled. Like, at this point, I just don't care. I don't care about football banter. Like, I don't care because a lot of people force the banter anyway. I'm at a point where I don't care about football. I don't care about football. Like the thing is, if I didn't have this channel right now, yeah, I probably wouldn't watch any of the away games. I'd probably just go to the home games for the day out, which is what I do anyway. And yeah, and with the away games, I probably wouldn't watch. I probably watch something else. If it was up to me, I probably would watch like Liverpool Brighton on a weekend because that's the 3 o'clock game that's the most interesting. Oh god. Antonio's a League Two level player. I don't know about that, but I hear you. Your title was going to be, well, I didn't see that coming. Charlie is the Oracle. Forest nil 8 West Ham. What do you think about Alvarez playing the playmaker role? Pac-Man is so out of form and needs to be dropped. I think if Kudus is injured, or Kudus is suspended, and Paquetá is out, because Paquetá is out of form, I don't think you can play Alvarez there, because Alvarez can't even pass the ball forward from its deep positions. And I'll get onto Alvarez's. I'll get onto Fuego's comment about Alvarez in a sec. But there's nothing creative about Edson Alvarez. So I probably wouldn't play him in a 10. The only other player you could probably play there is Soler. And I didn't even think of him as a 10, but Paquetá has to be dropped. And I think even when Kudus comes back, especially, Somerville on the left and Kudus in the 10. But I'm trying to take everyone with a pinch of salt when it comes to playing out of form that has regressed from their level, just because I think that's mainly on the manager for me. Big up to Z as well. Mate, thank you for beating us. And keep Lopetegui, we get Amarim. Yeah, it's a great appointment, but you literally have the worst manager in the league right now. I think probably second over Russell Martin, because Southampton, Russell Martin's not a Premier League manager, but you're better than Russell Martin. Well done. Like, but no, big up to yourself, Z. Like, I think he's a terrible manager, to be fair. And to be fair, he's probably better than Gary O'Neill. I don't rate Gary O'Neill. Thoughts on people hating on Edson for hiring a strength and conditioning coach and private cook? I think these people are just trying to find anger for the sake of it. It's probably the Twitter guys, isn't it? Most people have a strength and conditioning coach and a private cook. And he clearly sees something in himself where he feels like he needs to improve his strength and conditioning and his fitness. So what's the point? I don't get what's wrong with doing that. Soler, false 9 or Kudus? I think, yeah, Kudus can play false 9, but he can't even play this game. But I don't think this manager could even coach a false 9. He'll end up just any manager any striker that this manager puts up front will just use him as some fake target man. Like, he wouldn't even know how to use a false 9. As I said before, I thought Spanish people were meant to like football. I thought they were meant to like football. I thought they were the ones that created the art of football, in terms of like, they not create the art, you know what I mean, like tiki-taka football and stuff. This guy's more like Rafa Benitez, where he's just like, you have to be compact and all that nonsense. Like, yeah, you have to be compact, no fucking shit. Steve the crackhead Cooper is worse than our fraud. You're probably right. You're probably right. I'd say they're in the same mold. Lopetegui is the Spanish Steve Cooper. Everyone knows what I called him the other day. The Sangria, you know the rest. He was a goalkeeper. I would never hire a manager that played there. That's exactly what I said the other day. If I knew this guy was a goalkeeper before he became a manager, I'd be like, why the fuck we hired a goalkeeper as a manager? And then again, not really much of an excuse, because Nuno's also was a goalkeeper. Yeah, Nuno is probably going to beat us though. Definitely. It's the two goalkeepers, the two former Wolves managers that were goalkeepers. Nuno's going to school us, man. We're not going to win any battles in midfield. I feel like also, as much as I like Edson Alvarez, and I think Rodriguez would be a good squad player rather than a regular starter, they're going to struggle with the mobility, like that of the players that are running at them. I can just feel that someone maybe puts in a dangerous challenge. We might get a red card again, not going to lie. We got a few Spanish frauds in this league. Mikel Deitch is one of them. Yeah, maybe the best Spanish managers is Iraola and Emery. The fuck does a keeper know about attacking in midfield? So, to be fair, it doesn't really, your position in football doesn't really translate, manager, but I hear you. Like, no one, your manager can't be a goalkeeper. Your manager can't be shouting, my ball, keepers. Your manager can't be shouting that. Oh, yeah, Pep. I forgot about Pep. But, yeah, your manager can't be shouting out keepers. That's crazy, man. I can't lie. It's like, imagine you're chatting to a girl, yeah? And you're a striker. Let's say you're a striker. You're earning a lot of money a week. Again, sorry for the fireworks. It's not my fireworks, because I'm literally inside. Imagine you're chatting to a girl, yeah? You're a striker. You're earning bare peas. You scored goals, but your girl gets stolen by a goalkeeper. I'd want to kill myself. Imagine like a goalkeeper stealing your woman. Imagine a goalkeeper being your manager. Imagine a goalkeeper as a pundit slewing your club. Goalkeepers shouldn't be able to talk. Let's be real. Like, when it comes to football, they bring the likes of Joe Hart and Shay Given in punditry rooms. just to analyze what mistakes the goalkeeper made just so they can defend them. All goalkeepers do as pundits, by the way. All they do as pundits is sit in a room and just pretty much stick up for the goalkeeper, even though they've made a blatant mistake. Because guess what? Goalkeepers union and all that, because they have extra sympathy. That's all goalkeepers do as pundits. That's all they do. Imagine a goalkeeper doing anything good, like outside of being a goalkeeper. You are in the net for a reason. Everyone knows in school, if you was the worst one out of the group playing football, or you was the fat kid, you go and goal. I was never fat, but when I was the shittest one in the group of players I was playing with, then I'd be in goal. That's why I wouldn't play with players that were way better than me, because I knew I'd be in goal. I was either in defense or in goal, because listen, I can't shoot to save my life. But everyone knows that you're in goal, not because by choice. No one's like, I genuinely want to be a goalkeeper. Like, genuinely. They're like, I look forward to, just using my hands and that's it. And I'm playing football. You willingly want to go and goal. You got to be some form of psychopath. But going back to the game, let's go to the press conference. We don't have Nicholas Fulcrick available. We don't have a date. He is working hard, but he's out. Okay, cool story, bro. It's a quick turnaround. It's been a short week for us, but it's been a positive few days. We still have to improve, though. We're trying to do that. Obviously, we are happy when we won, though. Yeah, cool. A very boring manager, this guy. Questions on Nottingham Forest, a very tough game. They have lots of points because they have good players and a good coach and a very good team. So why don't we have points then? Because maybe you're a shit coach. We have to be ready because it's going to be a big challenge. The next game is always the hardest. Blah, blah, blah. Lopetegui's asked about playing outside of London. Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, this is the first time we played outside of London, and it's going to be in November. Obviously, we saw that with the fixture list already. So we play every home game and every away game, obviously home game. But every away game we played has been in London because we faced Palace, Fulham, Brentford, and Tottenham. So this is the first time we're playing outside of London. I enjoy being in goal. Psychopath. No money spent in January FFP supposedly. Well, yeah, I actually don't get me wrong, I actually believe that because that's the reason why we got what's it called? Like Soler as a loan. That's why we didn't get him on a permanent deal. Like it would have been loan to buy, but the paperwork didn't go through. That's why we did the business that we did. I know, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting and demanding us to do anything in January. We should be getting the best out of what we have from the summertime anyway. Half of these players have barely played. Only loans and selling. That's what I expected. That's what I expected. Hopefully, it could be 28 that's gone. The boss is asked about changing his team. Each match is different, so we have to do what is best for us. We'll see for Saturday. But the most important thing is that everyone is ready. The players on the bench will be key too. What will they know? There's a lot of focus on the starting 11, but everyone here is important and will play a role. Yeah, good luck. Looking at Forest's results, they are really that impressive. Their cheeks, bro. I want to. They're just not though. If they're cheeks, what the fuck are we? The next question is on Crysencio Somerville. I don't want to talk about individuals on the lineup, so let's see. If you don't start Somerville, you need to fuck off. Like we need to fuck off anyway. I don't know how you can't. It can't be a consideration to not start Somerville. We're going to try and select the team to what we think is best to compete against Nottingham Forest. Crysencio is just doing what he's always done here. He plays well, works hard, whether he's playing or not. Yeah, no wonder why. I'm trying to think of an 8 that we can get on loan. He should be playing Soler there. That's why he should be playing Soler in the 8. Like, don't get me wrong, we do need an 8, but he should be playing Soler there. That was what Soler was meant to be signed for, to play alongside Alvarez. But this manager wants to play 2 DMs. Like, he can play Paquetá there. He can play Soler there. Like, he should be getting the best out of what he has. Lopetegui's asked about the importance of successive wins. It's always important and a big challenge. We have to put the last match in our memory and just focus on this weekend. We're all looking forward to it. The boss has asked about his approach. Fuck your approach. They've played a few meaty teams. They're overhyped. Fuck them. Bro's really up for this game. I hear it. But if they're shit, then we need to beat them then. Because otherwise, if they're shit, we lose to them, then just says everything about us. Says everything about us, doesn't it? But as I said, as I've seen, like, Chris Wood is apparently available. Like, well, there's positive things about him being available. So I wouldn't get anyone's hopes up. Even if they don't start Chris Wood, they'll just start Taiwo Awoniyi. Uh, sorry, go look at their results, bro. I've watched them. Like, I know they drew to Brighton, they drew to Chelsea, and all that. They're good at still getting results though. Like, put it this way, bro. If we went to Leicester away, we are not winning at Leicester away, even though they're shit. We're not winning there. We're not winning at Brighton away. Like, we're not winning there. Like, I know they didn't win there, but we're not. We're definitely. Look how they played against Chelsea. Look how we played against Chelsea. Like, they're regardless of what you think what they are way better than us. And I understand about overhype. I don't think they're going to get Europe or anything, but they're doing well. But I can't find any more news to do with their thing. We are beating Leicester and Brighton, bro. We're definitely not beating Leicester and Brighton. We just about beat Man United, for God's sakes. They're not better than Charlie, bro. Charlie, I can't tell if you're just saying this because it's no fam. I'm pretty. They'll finish below us. What's happened to you? What's happened? What's happened, bro? Where's this positivity come from, Charlie? Because I thought we'd finish above them at the start of the season. I think we'll finish like maximum fucking if we keep this manager at max, we finish about 13th at maximum. I'm not positive we're shit. Brian are slapping us. They're just even more shit. How can it be even more shit? I don't think we'll finish above them. Like, I don't think we will. Not if we keep this manager. We should be finishing above them with our squad. We should be. I like their squad, but we should be finishing above them with our squad. But it's the manager. I don't think even Brighton they'll beat us. Like, I don't think that. I don't even think Brighton are that good. I don't think Brighton are that good, and that's maybe an unpopular opinion. I don't think Brighton are that good. I don't think they look as good as last year. I don't think they look as good as how they did under De Zerbi. Or maybe it's just aesthetic reasons. I don't know. I don't think they look as much of a pretty football team, as they did under De Zerbi. They've been suicidal, to be fair. Graham Potter was the only one that actually got them under control, like, to an extent. They get battered. Like, even when they were like finishing like 15th, for example, it was only because they couldn't finish their chances as well. Like, Graham Potter at least kept a few clean sheets. De Zerbi, suicide defending. This guy, Hertzler, suicide defending. They'll concede goals from trying to play out from the back. When they do that, to be fair, they'll probably do that against Liverpool. But they won't do that against us because we don't put any pressure on anyone. That's the problem. We can get more goals by pressing. We don't press. That's the problem with us. We don't press hard enough. We don't press high enough. We don't press with intensity. And as I always say, every week we wait until they pass into the midfield for us to press, and then they find the holes. Like every team does it. Ipswich did it for a little bit, and then Lopetegui had to tweak it 20 minutes in. The fact that Lopetegui had to tweak his tactics against Kieran McKenna's Ipswich Town for us to beat them 4-1 says all you need to know about the manager. The fact that he actually had to resort to making 3 substitutions at half time to beat Man United tells you all you need to know about this manager. He only tweaked it against Chelsea from when we were 2-0 down. We were already losing. And it didn't matter after that. Like, we need to go on a winning run. I don't like actually want managers to be sacked. I'd rather it just work. But if it doesn't work, then I want you to be sacked. Simple as that. So go on a winning run and just prove me wrong. It's way easier. It would be way easier for my sanity and for my time and my fucking mental supporting this club if you had just won games. If you had just started winning games again. That's what I think. We're going to go on a run. You think, bro? Do you actually think? I can't tell if you're trying to wind me up starting this week. I can't tell if you're winding me up. I fucking hope you're right. I really hope you're right. I hope we beat them. I hope it's going to be 8. Okay, you are taking slightly the piss. But I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Like, genuinely, I hope you are. I just want to win this game. I hear you. I hear you. But I don't. We're looking at the game. Let's go through the lineup. Let's do the lineup. And then And when we mean lineup, Lopetegui's predicted because I'm done trying to put the lineups that I actually want this team to play. West Ham. Oh, fucking hell. Not West Ham. Go to lineup builder. Same lineup as always. 4-2-3-1. I've always put 4-3-3, but it is a 4-2-3-1. So it is what it is. 4-2-3-1 kind of just changes around now and then. We don't actually know what we're doing, so that's why it kind of looks like two different formations. That's not claret enough. Okay, this is the closest I'm going to get to claret. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, let me share my screen. Start the lineup, people. I hope you're right as well, Charlie. Bengal. I'm going to assume Fabianski keeps his place. For the fact that he started last week. Charlie, they've been good. I think West Ham win if it's a City ground, Max. It is at the City ground, to be fair, Mustafa, but what's it called? We don't win there. I'd be more confident if it was at our ground because we've got a good record at our ground against them. The joy is, I've always said this, when records don't matter when it benefits us, because we always seem to break records that benefit us. When it comes to records against us, they carry on. Let me go through your lineups quick. And this, I'm just doing the Lopetegui one. I'm not doing mine. This is Charlie's predicted: Fabianski, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Tadibo, Kilman, Emerson, Guido, Souček, Paquetá, Summerfield, Donkey, Souček and Summerfield to start. Big up to Damien. Yeah, Souček and Summerfield probably will start. Summerfield definitely should start. Emerson, Kilman, Tadibo, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Alvarez, Souček, Guido, Soler, Antonio Bowen, fucking coward. One Alvarez will play Marissa, two Mourinho, respect. Does Antonio start, Max? He'll probably start Antonio. But yeah, Fabianski in goal. The GOAT himself, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. By the way, go and check out the comp by East London Hammers that he made of Aaron Wan-Bissaka against Man United. He sent me it because I literally demanded someone to make a comp of Aaron Wan-Bissaka after the weekend's performance. Tadibo to start alongside Max Kilman. Well, this is what it should be. If he starts Mavropanos again and Tadibo hasn't failed a fitness test, God help me. Emerson at left back. This is where he's going to start two DMs. And I have a feeling that it will be Alvarez, Guido, and Souček in 10. I don't want to see this midfield. I don't care if it worked against Man United. It didn't work against Fulham. Somerville on the left. Well, I don't know. The thing is, no, I'm going to change it. I think he'll start Soler on the left. I think he'll keep the same lineup because the guy's a prick. Bowen on the right and Antonio up front. I thought, and if he does start with this lineup, we'll lose like 2 or 3-0. What's slow mofo? They're mid. They've played relegation for the most of the season and scraped through. Big up to Colin. Good evening, Mike. So I would like to see Fabianski, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Tadibo, Kilman, Alvarez. Well, who's playing left back? Somerville, Souček, Rodriguez, Guilherme, Antonio, and right. Oh no, you mean you're saying 3 at the back? Okay. I think we'd get battered playing that way. We'd be way too open, bro. Not gonna lie. Guido needs to hold bench. I've always said Guido has always needed to be a bench player. I don't mind him as a player that comes in and does a job. I actually think he put his body on the line quite a bit against Man United, but he's just very slow. Especially, I said this earlier, Damien, in the stream, that I think both Alvarez and Guido Rodriguez are going to have mobility. Well, all of the midfield that I just named there, they're all going to have mobility issues because the mobility issues are going to come out in this game because of their players. So even if they don't start Anderson or Gibbs-White in a 10, Dominguez will start in a 10. Or Hudson and Nalanga running inside positions where the midfield are going to have to handle that. They're going to struggle to get a foot in. I have a feeling they'll probably get a penalty or a rash challenge will happen from us and one of our midfielders, mainly from the two DMs over here. Because as much as Souček is immobile, he doesn't really get his tackles wrong. Alvarez and Guido are capable of getting their tackles wrong when isolated. If he starts with this lineup, as I said, people, it's probably going to be about 3-0 to them, or some shit like that. I think we're going to lose anyway. And the thing is, if we draw, I don't want to hear anyone talking about, oh, but we lost last year and it's a hard place to go and all that. Bro, shut the fuck up, man. It's not Real Madrid. It's Nottingham Forest. I know I talked about, oh, they've been good this season, but I don't like care about drawing to teams. Even if it was Real Madrid, you think I'm going to brag about a draw against fucking Real Madrid? Like, I care about 3 points. We drew against Brentford and Fulham away from home. Like, the last away game we won was game week 2, man. Southampton, Wolves, Palace, Leicester played an awful Newcastle and mid Bournemouth. I mean, we beat Palace, fair enough. We haven't even faced the other teams, have we? I have a feeling we would do like shit against these teams. Your 11, without Kuna, same as last week. Ariola, Wan-Bissaka, Tadibo, Kilman, Emerson, Alvarez, Souček, Paquetá, Bowen, Somerville, Antonio. Fair enough. I don't mind it. If this was up to me, I'd give Salah a chance in the middle. I don't really want to see two DMs anymore, but I know my lineups are never going to be out there. I'm never going to see the lineups I want. I'm never going to see the combination of players I wanted. That's why I stopped doing my own lineups, to be honest. That would have been my 11 last week, and Somerville and Souček came on and changed the game. Yeah, with Somerville, like, we actually had an outlet on the left. We had an outlet on the right. I don't get why this manager is being like Moyes and just starting one midfielder and a midfielder on the wing. So we only have one winger when the whole formation looks lopsided, the same as last year. The formation looked lopsided last year. I'm making the same complaints as I was last season, but with a whole different manager. This guy is the Malaga Moyes. Like, simple as that. I don't care if he's not from Malaga or not. It's Spanish, innit? I had to do the alliteration, but this lineup shit. This right here, the lineup you're looking at, is dog shit. There is no control in midfield, and the problem is with this, Soler would just go and receive the ball. In what's it called? Let me get the lineup. In these areas here, and then Emerson just pushes up here. Oh, I can actually move it. Okay. Here's the problem. Emerson goes in inverted areas here, yeah? Soler is over here. Souček is around here. Alvarez and Rodriguez kind of don't know what they're doing, like, because they haven't got any instructions. Wan-Bissaka is over here. Bowen's over here. Antonio's over here somewhere. Or over here somewhere. And this is the problem I have. This is what a Lopetegui West Ham team looks like with the areas. Why is Bowen over here and not here? Like, Wan-Bissaka here if he's going to get forward, like, going down here. Why is Bowen here, not here, and he's over here? Why is even Souček here? Why is he not, like, in these areas here? Why is Emerson inverted if Soler is the winger? That's why I was seeing it. That's what I was genuinely seeing against Man United. I was seeing Emerson here and Soler here. Why is Emerson making runs there? Because where's the width? What is Soler meant to do on the wing? And even in build-up, let's drag them back a bit. Like, even in build-up, Bowen's wide, yeah? We have the ball. These three are, like, forget Souček here for a sec. Let's pretend Souček's Paquetá for a sec. There's 4 players coming to receive the same ball. This was the problem at Man United. It didn't even look like a boxing midfield like this. It looked like this kind of thing. Like, Soler was here sometimes. Sometimes Soler was over here. He's a midfielder. He's just kind of just doing what he wants. Paquetá's just in the 10 slightly. And Bowen is here, kind of waiting for the ball. And then Wan-Bissaka's over here sometimes. I don't get what the manager's trying to do with all of that. Because it doesn't even look like a formation. And, like, my only criticism really, well, not only criticism, but my main criticism of Antonio, stay here. Stay here. Just stay here, please. Unless it's like the only players back are the centre-backs. I get why you take them down the channel. But honestly, if the fullback is tucked in these areas, you don't need to be here. because then there's no one in the box. There's no one in the box. And the problem is, even if Antonio is here, let's say Antonio is here, these players, like whoever it is, Paquetá, Souček, they should know Antonio is going to be here. Bowen should know Antonio is always out wide. So get in the box and help him. Get in the box and help him. Even if he is out wide, get in the box. Like, this is my problem. And I'll do more of these my problems tactically more often, because I didn't even know you can move the players around and shit. Sorry, let me go through your comments. Mike's all right, mate. This team: Fabianski, Aaron Bissaka, Zidane, Kilman, Emerson, Somerville, Alvarez, Souček, Guilherme, Antonio, and Bowen up front. 4-4-2. Maybe that can work. I don't think Guilherme is going to play anytime soon, but I wouldn't mind seeing Guilherme. I don't mind what teams I see at this point, because I just want this manager gone. Paquetá's better than Soler. Soler's a beat at Paquetá. I just want to see him in this position. I thought Soler was meant to be signed to play alongside Alvarez and be the 8, be the ball carrier. Don't know why this midfielder is playing on a wing again. I don't expect a manager that's meant to know Soler. How are you meant to let him settle in for the season, the only season that he's probably going to be here, by playing him out of position? Though Paquetá's fighting for his place when Kudus is back. I know that's my criticism of Antonio this season. Fair. Antonio should stay at home. Just stay central. Facts. Just stay central. Donkey Boy is our worst, but definitely not worst. I know you don't like Antonio, but fucking hell, man. Definitely not our worst player, but I hear you. This is my thing, yeah. Do you know what the players specifically that we praised last season, their performances that we praised for last season, yeah? If they've regressed this season, I've held back a little bit, because I'm like, it's this manager. It's the manager for sure. But also, fuck it. Like, if you're gonna perform bad, do the job properly. Get this manager gone, please. If it's mission sabotage, let us know somehow by throwing hands. I remember when James Collins, a week before that Burnley massacre on the pitch, did this to the fans. As the side was, where's the money? To the owners. Give us a sign that you don't like this manager. Blink twice if you're being held captive by this shit football. Paquetá's been awful since he got caught trying to make dodgy bets. Paquetá's been awful in 2024, probably, I'd say. Big up Mike's. Big up Jonathan, bro. Hope you're doing well. Souček is better than Antonio. That's how bad he is. I disagree, but fair. Like, I don't want to see Souček start a game. Like, I don't think he did bad when he came on. I don't think he did much when he came on, but I'm not exactly blaming him. I don't really want them three to start together. I think because the problem is, guys, because the manager saw that we got a goal from Souček, Alvarez, and Rodriguez playing together, if them three are going to play together again, just like they did against fucking Fulham. I saw how that went against Fulham. And guess what, guys? Joe's the key part of this that we're missing. What do we always do in away games this season under Lopetegui? Go long. We play long ball football. Long ball football. Did it again. First half against Palace. Brentford game, we did it for like 20 minutes. Fulham game, we did it the whole game. The whole game. Tottenham, we tried to do it the whole game as well. It hasn't worked once. But the manager thinks he has to play a certain way away from home. The manager thinks, I have to restrict myself. I have to stay back a little bit. I have to put my high line all the way there and my midfield line deep. Yeah, if it works, it's fine. If it works, it's fine. But I've not seen it work under this manager. Like, the problem is he puts Souček and Antonio next to each other, and he expects Antonio to win the flick on. Antonio has never been Andy Carroll. Antonio has never been the guy who's going to jump over these defenders. They were expecting Antonio to jump over Van de Ven. When has he ever done that? And get Antonio down the channels at times and get him in the box. Get him wrestling with defenders. You don't put the ball in the air for him. You don't ask Souček to win all your aerial duels just because he's the tallest person. I don't even think that's fair on him. I'm just being real with it. It's not worked under this manager. And I've not seen long ball football work in a very long time at West Ham. A very long time. And strictly long. Even when we were good on the counter-attack under Moyes, we weren't even playing long ball football like that, really. Like, in the lockdown season we was, and it worked for a little bit. It worked for a little bit, but even then, we were good on the floor. We were good on the floor. We were good at putting crosses in from the wide areas. The whole point of that team was spamming crosses, but it worked. Cresswell, Sufal, Bowen, Fornals, Benrahma, all put crosses in, even Lingard when he came in. And then they'd swap around to be on the end of them. We were good like that. But this manager always likes to strictly go long ball every away game. The ball goes in the air, they win the duel, and then they get the ball again. We don't counter press. I'm not seeing one counter press for this team. Either that or Bowen might press someone, might tell someone else to press with him, so the whole team can press, but nobody does press. There's no instruction. There's no instruction. We don't look cohesive. Cashing on Paquetá in January, he's going to be even worse this week. Two since his boyfriend finished second Ballon d'Or. Antonio's biggest strength with his awful touch was coming up by his pace. Now his pace got its peak. I think he used that. What's it called? I think he did use that touch to his advantage because he used to bait defenders into trying to get 1v1 in him and then bang, barge, and then the defender goes fucking flying. The thing is, we can't even demand what we're demanding of him at his age as well. It's not even fair on him. Same way with, I'm going to be objective, as I usually am, with Souček, for example. As I said earlier, we can't be demanding Souček just to be the only guy to win our aerial duels all the time. That's why you shouldn't play long ball football anyway with this team. But then again, if you play possession-based football, you shouldn't play Thomas Souček, but cool, whatever, this guy's still going to survive. The problem is, if we keep parading these I'm not going to say that word, these baloney footballers that still play in our team, and we don't want to move on from these players, they're going to keep staying here and going to keep getting new contracts, and I'm going to keep having to suffer watching it, so my eyes are going to burn week in, week out. I've not got good sight as it is. I wear glasses as it is. I kind of wish I never got glasses 4 years ago, so I didn't have to watch this. But whatever. When's Kudus back? After the next international break. I know you man are debating Antonio innings. I'm really, like, honestly, guys, I'm not, like, I think that just says where we are in this current moment in time in 2024, that we're debating whether Antonio and Danny Ings should start for our football club. Mike's, make you right, never wanted Loppy in the first place. The Chelsea game done me. Same, bro. I have not seen anything, and I feel like we lose the next 2 games, mate, and I don't like saying it. It hurts me inside. I think we probably draw against what's it called? Everton at home. Because Everton are one of them teams, yeah, when they have a certain style of football. Now, obviously, it'll be really hard to beat. We struggled there. We struggled against Everton at home last year. I chose to work when Everton away was on, so I didn't actually watch that game in full. What's it called? But at home, I remember everyone remembers that Everton game at home. Like, what we even trying to do. That was when Paquetá started on the left, Kudus started in the middle, Bowen on the right, Antonio benched Souček, and then he thought, oh, put Souček on, because that makes a fucking difference. And then he went back to Ward-Prowse, Alvarez, Souček midfield. I can't be bothered with seeing this stuff. I feel like I'm watching last season 2.0 with a different squad. That's what I feel like I'm watching. I feel like I'm watching last season 2.0. Like, I'm looking at the lineup, and I'm thinking, you're debating strikers in the comments. Like, I'm debating who start. I'd start your nan up front, start Hammerhead up front. I don't care who it is at this point. Like, if Fulkirk is injured, cool. Like, he's not even going to come back to even settle in. I don't want Bowen up front. I've not been impressed with Antonio, and I wouldn't start Ings. I'd bring him off the bench. So I don't really care. At this point, I don't care. Like, if Callum Marshall wasn't out alone, I'd start him. Not to put any pressure on him, though. But that's generally because of the options, not because I'm this guy who wants the youth involved, because the youth have to be involved for the sake of it. No, you put the youth involved if they're good enough. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying, oh, we should have never let go of Mubama. That's we're struggling up front. I saw some people say that. I was like, no, bro. As much as I wanted Mubama to sign a new contract, I actually think he could have done good in a side that allows you to run him behind and not his back to goal at 21 years old, which is the way we used him for them 2 games. he never wanted to sign a new contract because he was promised first team football, and the slough of a manager last year didn't really offer him first team football. Gave him one chance against two chances against Bristol City, and what's the other team? The away team. I forgot what team we played away in the Europa League, where he didn't get any service. And I talk about this with strikers all the time. The problem is with Moyes, he relied on Antonio too much. He relied on Antonio too much. He didn't have a game plan without him. He doesn't know how to work without a striker that just stays in the middle. His game plan was Antonio and Rice. It was Rice getting him out of trouble and Antonio running down the bench. Running down the bench, running down the lines and the channels and shit like that. That was his whole game plan. Outside of Rice and Antonio, there was just individual quality in the end. Unlike the lockdown season, which it was a bit more of a team game. You saw Suchek box and box, Sufal and Cresswell having the seasons of their life. Masuaku even coming in and doing a good job. Even Balbuena, Diop, and Dawson and Ogbonna were doing great jobs. Fabianski doing a job in goal. And we only had one striker at the time. Lingard was doing a good job. Like, it was a bit more of a team game when we were good. But then it just became, if Antonio ain't having a good game, or Rice ain't having a good game, which was quite rare, then we're fucked. Difference is we have a better bench quality this year. I actually agree. I do agree. Like, we do have options. We do have options. Like, we've talked about so many times. Big up to yourself, Mark, as well. Where we've looked at previous teams and like previous managers, for example, and we're looking like, who do we have to bring off the bench? Like, maybe I should bring up an old fixture from last year and look at the bench. Look at the benches from last year. But comparing the benches, we actually have options, to be fair. And people could argue, oh, that's why Moyes made late subs. Well, that wouldn't make any sense because you wouldn't make any subs in the first place because if you really didn't like your squad. My whole thing with that as well was Moyes wanted a small squad. So when he looks at his bench, it was like, fuck knows what to do. Yeah, we have much better depth. You lot are still arguing about Antonio and Ings. At least Moyes played to percentages them times. Yeah, he did. And the problem is he wanted to change the style of play. It wasn't even us, it was him. no one talked about the style of play once in that lockdown season because nobody wanted to. Because we were looking at a team that was like, holy shit, we're finished in Europe this year. We finished in Europe. And nobody talked about the style of play. He wanted to change it. He was like, okay, if we're going to do this next year, we've got to play in between the lines and all that nonsense. So yeah. I'm just trying to... Okay, this is perfect, actually. Let me go through... I just found Nottingham Forest away last year. Fucking hell, that bench. Oh, my God. This is the bench from Nottingham Forest last year, people. I didn't even realise Suchek was on the bench. Johnson... Look at the subs that come on. Oh, my days. Listen, I wanted Cornet to play a bit more, but no. Trash guy like Ben Johnson. Danny Ings, he's always been on the bench. Maxwell Cornet actually got minutes. That's when you know Moyes was like, fuck this. 3 defenders. We do 3 defenders this year. And Paul Mubama, who's just there for vibes, bro. I mean, look at that, but they're Cheku Kuyate. Big up Kuyate. But again, let's look at the bench for... What other game should we do? Oh, fuck it. Why Google always do this, bro? Let's look at a bench for... Okay, this is perfect, actually, because I could go through the scenario. Where is it? I just had it. Where is it? Palace at home. Here we go, Palace at home. Coming soon? What's coming soon, bro? So let's start some fields of biology, so it's better. Okay, I'm just gonna let you lot debate that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not getting involved. Let's look at this bench. Is this bench? Oh my days, this bench is trash in my opinion. Look at this bench here, because even if you compare this bench, this is Palace at home where we drew 1-1, a game that we should have won, by the way, under Moyes. The only reason why we lost is because Mavropanos gave away the ball. And we don't have a game plan for when we concede a goal by sitting back. Their bench is trash as well, don't get me wrong, but they at least tried with Mateta, who, by the way, was shit at this time, and he still is, by the way. I don't care if he scored at the weekend. Fornals, Fabianski, Cresswell, Cornet, Ings, Ogbonna, Benrahma, Kerem, Ibama. So when we're chasing the game, he only brings one sub on and brings Fornals on. This isn't talking about. I'm not going to talk about Moyes too much. I don't actually ever bring him up. It's usually rebuttaling someone else saying something. But look at his bench: Cresswell, Cornet, Ings, Ogbonna, Benrahma, Kerem, Ibama. Fucking hell! What the fuck is this? What the fuck? I don't know what just happened. What the fuck was that? I don't know whether you guys saw that. I don't know what the fuck that was. Anyway. Max, I just want him to be inventive, try something different, even stick Guilherme and some of our wings and Bone up front. I'm sure we wouldn't be feeling this way if Amarim was here. Oh, definitely not. If Amarim was here, it would be much different. He's actually a coach. I don't even care about having to play a style of play. I just think these managers' style of play don't even suit the manager. Don't even suit the players that we have, the group of players that we have in general. Oh man. God. Fam, this is the first time I've seen a debate in the comments. Not gonna lie, but does anyone really get up for these games anymore? Like, does anyone really get excited, angry, happy when we score? Like, I get happy when we score if I'm there. I don't celebrate like I used to though. No, keep doing it, man. It's fun. Honestly, it's calm. Big up to both of you. But um, fucking hell, man, you lot. But legit, I don't even celebrate that hard in the ground anymore because I know what the long term is. I don't go around throwing my chair around in happiness because we scored a goal. I don't even do the same for when we concede a goal. I laugh half the time. I can't lie. I'm laughing at what I'm looking at. Whenever one of our players miscontrols the ball, misplaces a pass, I'm just laughing because I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the actual fuck? That's what I'm genuinely looking at. I'm looking at it in disbelief. Joy is no. The only reason why I don't see Aaron Wan-Bissaka as a ball carrying midfielder is because I think he is very good at carrying the ball down wide areas. And even with Lingard, I think Lingard is like faster and more mobile. Uh, I don't think the only person that can really do that job, like in the spaces that Lingard does in our team, is actually Kudus. The problem is we play the guy on the left, and it kind of like isolates him out of his position. With Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think just needs to play right back or left back. If Emerson's injured, you play him left back. If not, just play him right back. So just gets best out of him. And he also just kind of doesn't hinder any of his qualities defensively. And he's offering so much more than I even expect. I can't speak for anyone else. But for me, I'm happy with Wan-Bissaka playing the way he is and just keeping him the way he is. But yeah. Does the French Kepa start? No, I don't even. French Kepa's interesting. Fabianski will probably start. I think Ariola's kind of fucked it for himself after playing against Tottenham the way he did. Not that I really trust Fabianski necessarily, but he did perform really well against Man United. The problem is my problem is the reasoning as well. Like his reasoning for dropping him was distribution, and then you put Fabianski in. Like that's going to solve anything with distribution. Even against Man United, he literally kicked the ball out of play. No one ever talks about it. By the way, no one ever talks about it. I've never seen someone not get criticized for the same things that Areola does get criticized for. I was just asking for the same energy to be had for both goalkeepers. No, I think Fabianski had a good game. I think he had a really good game against Man United, but the reasons was worrying me. It was the reasons. Fuck no. That guy should never play a minute for West Ham. He's one of the worst goalkeepers I've ever seen. One of the worst goalkeepers I've ever seen in the Premier League. Fabianski looked cool as a cucumber. I don't know how he pulled off that. Was it double save? Well, it was one of the save. I think it was the Bruno Fernandes one that was close up. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely his worst game. Definitely his worst game for West Ham. He hasn't had many like that, in my opinion. But yeah, I think his best was probably Sevilla at home, and there was a few last year where he pretty much saved Moyes' job. for the time being. Really good last year. Big up to Damien. See you later, bro. See you later. But compared to as I was doing it earlier, comparing the benches to last season to this season, um, yeah, we've really upgraded our bench. But that's the thing. The manager does use subs to be fair to him, but he's very erratic. It kind of just what's it called? It kind of just changes the game, either for the better or the worse. His subs because he makes 3 subs in a row, which changes the whole fluidity of the game. So this is the problem with the manager as well. Another problem with the manager. He'll get a lineup, and hopefully he puts it together. And what's it called? They try and get used to each other. Then he'll make 3 subs. He'll make 3 subs because he fucked the game plan in the first place. Then it changes the whole dynamic. Then they have to get used to each other. And then they've got 45 minutes to then try and get a goal. That's why we look like we're playing the moments and just trying to figure it out as we go along. Brian Away last year was one of them. Yeah, Brian Away, that was probably his best performance, I'd say. Mike, you can never trust Loppy now. Would you take Ruud van Nistelrooy? I haven't seen enough of Ruud van Nistelrooy's PSV games. I didn't watch the game at Man United. Did yesterday either, so I don't know what a Van Nistelrooy team necessarily looks like. I only watched the game against Arsenal in Europa League when they played it when he was at PSV. Fabianski's old enough to claim pension. Yeah, he's fucking old. He's the oldest in the team. I'm pretty sure he actually is 39 or 40, which is mad in itself. I'm gonna assume this is his last season. I'd keep Loppy over Ruud. I'd probably take myself as coach over Lopetegui. To be honest, I think I could do a better job. I just basically play in your right position, and instantly I'm better. I don't even need to be there. I just tell the coaches to do it, like Football Manager. I just like you play in this position, then we're calm. I can think of a lot of managers that would do better than Lopetegui. I don't know if Van Nistelrooy. I don't know. I legit, I don't know. I've not seen Ruben. I'm not going to pretend like I've watched him. I've watched Stuttgart a couple of times. Forest 9 goals scored and 7 conceded in 9 games and win against Liverpool, but generally nicer teams played. I mean, that's the point Charlie was making earlier about the teams they played, but everyone plays each other, so you kind of just got like again with us. We like I get it. Cool, Brentford and Fulham have been good this year, but doesn't mean you shouldn't beat them. Like, oh, cool, Chelsea, Villa, Man City, and whatever. Like whoever. Like I've heard this before with other people. Like, oh, but the managers lost to teams that are way better than us. That's not how football works. Get Potter. Yeah, we've gone through this many times. I don't know. Stevie G, you're taking a fucking piss. Lems, stay in Saudi, brother. Stay in Saudi. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to end it there. I think we've reached the end of the stream. I've gone for longer than I expected to. An hour and 16 minutes. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you are new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. The email for the inquiries at GVR Mikes on all platforms. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok if you want to follow me. And subscribe. And subscribe if you are new. We're trying to hit 1K as soon as possible, people. My match reaction will be out Saturday, 10 p.m. And I'll have a video tomorrow previewing the Premier League fixtures. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.